Thank you for listening to this dose of wisdom for those past 5 talks. Um, the last one was actually a summary of the all for the 4 talk, and I'm thinking of actually going deeper into the lesson in the next 5 or 6 talks. Well, we all know that there's always a saying that say that the Buddha has the 84,000 ways of reaching enlightenment. Well, it can be 84,000 sutras, mantras, practices that people could actually use for the purpose of enlightenment. But seriously, do we really believe in the exact figure of 84,000? Or is it merely a figurative word? Do we really have to do all the 84,000 methods and skillful means in order to reach enlightenment? Well, there are many choices in life, and just like eating buffet, do you seriously want to try everything on the buffet table before you get your stomach full up? Well, if you go to buffet, sometimes you try 1 or 2, 3 or 4, or maybe up to 10. Count yourself. How many times do you go back to the buffet table, and how many types of food that you actually eat in a buffet in order to have a very satisfying meal? I don't know about you, but as I get older, buffet to me is such a bothersome thing. I only eat one type of food, and I hardly eat enough, or eat too much, or eat too little most of the time. And well, if you ask me to go for buffet, I will just go to eat one type. So you're better off paying for a la carte. If you didn't take up to 4 types of food, I guess you really don't. It's not really worth paying a buffet price. The same with Dhamma. Do you really want to go to the 84,000 methods? And as beginners, it's really scary to think of 84,000 methods of enlightenment. So many a times beginners and most of my students ask, well, is there a simple way? Is there an easy way that actually from not going to 84,000 methods, and there must be a quick fix somewhere? Well, there is. Good news is there is. But it's a very simple method which I think is in many of the texts. And I'm going to go through these basic 10 methods that you need to do in order to understand wisdom, in order to reach enlightenment, in order to awaken from your dream and your illusion that I said about, in order to overcome your negative emotions and your cognitive emotions. These 10 points, I'm going to go by one, but at the end, I'm going to summarize all the 10 again. But let's see how much we can go in 15 minutes, okay? Of course, in all Buddhist texts, the most important teachings to remember is that this human life is very precious. In order to reach enlightenment, you need to have this human life. Because the Buddha was actually enlightened in human form, okay, we need to continue to be enlightened in human form. Otherwise, there's no other way. Well, I don't know if the cockroach has a cockroach Buddha and all the cockroaches will be enlightened or not. But at least, as a human being, I'm sure the Buddha reached enlightenment, and I'm sure you all believe that. Otherwise, you all won't be following the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. And that's why this human life is very important. Any other animals, okay, the dog can never understand the Dhamma, directly practice the Dhamma, and reach enlightenment. Human in the human form understand the language, able to listen to the Dhamma, able to contemplate on the words of the Buddha, and able to put that into practice, and able to remove their suffering, and able to reach enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. This is very important. So having that human body is, according to the Buddha, like a 1,000 years turtle, 1,000 years old turtle who comes out of the surface of the river once in his lifetime. And once in a lifetime, the Buddha throw a ring at the sea, and once in a lifetime this turtle come out. The ring is actually hooked to his nose. So you can imagine the probability of getting this precious human life. Well, if you believe in reincarnation, and I do, okay, the next life may or may not be human. We may be born as an elephant. We may be born as an ant. We may be born as a firefly, and we may be born as even a celestial being, or we may be born in any of the other realms that is probably not human. And even if you are born as human formed, it is important to be born in the land where there is the Buddha teachings, and people have strong faith in the Buddha, the pure teaching of the Buddha, and true practitioner. So it's important to have the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha in your next rebirth. Now, people can be born in a place like, I don't know which country don't have Buddha Dharma. It used to be Africa, but now African is starting to learn Buddha Dharma too. And maybe the Middle East, there's no Buddhist there, right? So if you are born in the Middle East and you become a terrorist, then you probably never hear the Buddha, the Dharma, or the Sangha. That's why you become a terrorist. I mean, if you have heard the Buddha, the Dharma, and his Sangha teaching, you probably won't become a terrorist. So the precious human life is very important, okay? And we must utilize this precious human life for what? What should we do with this life, Should we continue to pursue things that are illusional, things that are impermanent, or things that are never important to us? It seems that a lot of people are still doing that, and they only can regret at the bedtime to say that, oh, I die now, I'm full of regrets. You can read the 10 regrets, you can read the 6 regrets. I do a lot of research, and people tell me about their regret when they're dying. Well, stop regretting. Start doing it now. This precious human life is very short. It's very impermanent. It changes. Okay? Which brings me to the second point. Although we have a precious human life, our life is impermanent. And our age is impermanent. Our time of death cannot be determined. It can be tomorrow. It can be 10 years down the road. Nobody can predict. Even if a person officially commits suicide, sometimes the person may not die. So it's very difficult to say. So the first point is that human life is very difficult to get. The second point is human life is impermanent. So this impermanence, as I expressed, it is about everything. It's not just human life. Everything is impermanent. So this thing is impermanent. What should we do when we are impermanent? Right? We should get on to do things as soon as possible. Don't wait for tomorrow, because there may be no tomorrow after all. So if you want to do something, get it done as soon as possible. If you want to be kind now. If you want to be generous now. If you want to help people now. If you want to do charity, do it now. Don't wait till tomorrow, because you may not have tomorrow. And if you want to express love to your loved one, love now. Why wait until tomorrow? And we must use this very uncertain lifespan that we have to continue to do good, which bring me down to the third point. Anything we do has a cause and effect. We call it karma. Karma is about cause and effects, and bear in mind about condition. So I give you an example. If you want to plant a good mango tree, which bear good mango fruit, you must first have the cause. The cause is the seed. The cause is the seed that you plant into the soil that grows a mango tree or grow a mango seedlings. Then mango seedlings, you continue to add water, have sunshine, make sure there's no pest, make sure there's no bird, make sure there's nothing that eat it up. And those are the conditions of growing a mango tree. And the mango tree must grow up to a certain age, and it must ripen, it must have flowers, it must have subsequently fertilized flower in order to bear fruits of the mango. So again, more conditions. But the effect and the reward is the fruit. Okay? So mango seed is the cause. Mango fruit is the results or the effects of the cause. And all in between, sunshine, water, right soil, right fertilizer, right bees, right fertilization of the flowers, those are conditions. Now we can control the cause. Many a time we may not control the results. And because the results is dependent on the conditions. And the conditions are a wonderful thing. Now a lot of people say, oh, earthquake. Why does it have earthquake? What is the cause? Actually, people got the thing wrong. The cause is that we are destroying our environment. It's not about people doing bad things in the right place or wrong place. And the conditions is, of course, the environment is changing, the world is changing, collective karma is changing, people do bad things. But those are the conditions. But the cause actually is that humans should stop destroying their own environment. That a lot of people didn't know. Instead, they go and blame, oh, because the Japanese killed so many Chinese, that's why they deserve the earthquake. Or they say, oh, the Chinese are bad people, the communists are bad people, that's why they deserve the earthquake. Oh, Nepali killed a lot of animals during their festival, Hindu festival, that's why there's earthquake. Nonsense. They couldn't even mix what is the difference between the cause and the conditions, and they jump into conclusion. And the worst is that they are judgmental, and instead of solving the problem, instead of creating a better karma for themselves, they create bad karmas for others. So, which brings down to again the fourth point. The fourth point is because of our karma and a negative karma, we go into samsara. Samsara is cyclic suffering. That means we plant the wrong cause again, we suffer the wrong effect again, and because of the wrong effect, we continue to plant the wrong cause. And this samsaric suffering must be really, really, really painful. I can tell you that, because we can see so many people continue to suffer. Okay? Because this samsaric suffering is just like a lamp that never get extinguished. It goes round and round and round, and we go through turns and turns of reincarnation. Whether we are reincarnated because we are doing good, next life we become a fairy or a god, and then yet we are jealous, yet we are unhappy, yet we suffer, or we do bad things, we go to hell, we become hungry ghosts, we become animal. These 6 realms of suffering continues, and samsara must be painful. Well, of course, then let's see the fifth part. In order to get out of samsara, we definitely need help. And who can we need help from? A lot of us say, oh, we can read a book, but I'm sure so many of us has read so many books and so many Google, it doesn't seem to work. We need proper directions, and the direction must come from another human being, because the way to enlightenment is a human being, and it probably can be our teacher, okay, or a good practitioner, or someone who has learned and went through the path and able to share with us. So the teacher is important. Now I repeat the first 5 points, and in the next talk I'll talk about next 5 points. Human being is very difficult to get. Human life is very difficult to get. The lifespan is impermanent. Karma is real. Samsara is painful. And we need to get a teacher to get out of samsara. Thank you very much and good night.